Any responsible timeshare exit company should be utilizing multiple methodologies to assisting their clients in exiting their timeshare. There's no one shoe fits every foot in this industry. Each individual is different, and generally there are different situations that timeshare owners find themselves in. We're somewhat unique in the industry in that we have a wide variety of things that we do for our clients and products that our clients can utilize or purchase with us that best assist them getting out of a timeshare. A few examples are if someone owns a timeshare and they've owned a timeshare for some period of time, they've already paid the timeshare company for that timeshare, right? When a timeshare company sells someone a timeshare, they're going to sell it for, let's say, $35,000. It's rare that someone will take out a check or put the timeshare on their credit card. So there's a finance component to timeshare sales. The timeshare company, really is more of a bank than anything else. They sell someone a timeshare, they take a small down payment, and then they write a loan to that person to purchase that timeshare. And once that loan is paid off, the relationship between the timeshare owner and the timeshare company changes. The only monies that are paid by the client are the annual fees associated with maintaining that timeshare inventory and any special assessments that are billed to the client because of damages that aren't covered by insurance, or special assessments relating to enhancements to the resort, as an example, or changing out furniture and fixtures, or redoing roofing and things like that to maintain the resort. In those situations, if the resort has some value in the marketplace, right? The general marketplace being Americans or really anyone in the world who's interested in owning one of those timeshares, but they're not willing to pay the timeshare company the exorbitant price that it costs. If someone has paid off that mortgage and they're current on their maintenance fees and special assessments, then we source individuals who are interested or would be willing to take over that timeshare and use the timeshare and agree to pay those ongoing annual fees or monthly fees, as it is sometimes. In that type of an instance, we're going to transfer that timeshare from the client that no longer wants it to someone who wants it, can use it, is willing to pay the maintenance fees and understands the product, and then we pair those two up and we do a formal transfer process. We utilize a title company that then makes sure that everything is done legally and it's recorded properly, and that gets our client out of the timeshare, and it gets someone else who's interested in enjoying that timeshare without having to pay the exorbitant prices that the timeshare companies charge. And that's called our transfer program. It's inexpensive, it's quick, and it's the only product that we fully guarantee because it is just a clerical process. We're going to go through the timeshare company and petition the transfer. They're going to agree to the transfer of the timeshare. We're going to execute the paperwork and all of the legal process that's required. And then our client's going to be out of the timeshare, which is what they desire, and someone else is going to be in it and enjoying, utilizing the timeshare. Whenever possible, that's always going to be the product that we're going to present to a client, because ultimately it's non-confrontational, it's quick, it's guaranteed, and it's inexpensive. And everyone that comes to us says, get me out of my timeshare, do it quickly, and do it as inexpensively as possible. And that's why a transfer is always going to be our go-to program. If someone owns a timeshare outside of the United States, specifically where it's governed by Mexican law, then we have a separate product, and it's an attorney-based product in the country of Mexico, where we're going to leverage regulatory agencies within the Mexican government, the attorneys that we assign to each of those clients, is going to apply for an arbitration hearing with certain government agencies. They're going to attend that arbitration hearing against, with the timeshare company, against the timeshare company, and state the case for the client. And again, each client is different. There's never the exact same situation. So we gather all the pertinent details of their particular situation. We then engage the attorney. The client ultimately engages the attorney, and they argue that in those arbitration hearings, gaining our client's release from the timeshare. There's no way a United States-based process is ever going to be effective in exiting someone from a contract that's governed by Mexico. The jurisdiction is wrong. The processes don't match up with their laws. So it's extremely important that when someone owns a Mexican-based timeshare, that we're engaging in a Mexican-based timeshare exit process. It's obvious, but we're one of the very few timeshare exit organizations that understands that and has the process to exit U.S. or frankly anyone in the world from a Mexico-based contract. Another product that we utilize is an advocacy product. It really is a pressure campaign that we engage in with the client to force a U.S.-based timeshare company to release a client from their contract. Anytime a contract is entered into through fraudulent methods, that contract can be dissolved. And the timeshare companies know this. Timeshare sales practices are condoned by these timeshare organizations. They know what they're doing, that certain elements of what they're doing is illegal, but they engage in it anyway. In those situations, when you engage in illegal behavior as a large corporation, and some of these corporations are extremely large, they're selling billions of dollars of timeshare every year. They're publicly traded on the stock exchange. They have obligations to government agencies to include the Security and Exchange Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. There's a variety of organizations that govern these groups, and there is risk associated with that business practice. And wherever there's risk, there's leverage. And we utilize our knowledge of the industry, our knowledge of these situations, our knowledge of what lines they've crossed to put an immense amount of pressure on these timeshare companies to release our clients. A very well-informed client that does, hundreds and hundreds of hours of research to understand the industry and understand the laws may be able to navigate that themselves, but it's very, very difficult. And that's where Centerstone Group has accumulated practices and procedures and experts in these areas that drastically increase the success rate and shorten the amount of time it takes for us to exit someone from a timeshare in situations where a transfer of the timeshare is not possible. And in those situations, the pressure campaign is really designed for people that still have a mortgage balance, they still owe on that original purchase price, or they own a timeshare that has no value, that we're not going to be able to find someone that's willing to take it over. And in those situations, if that client has meaningful misrepresentations and omissions that took place during the sales presentation or the sales presentations, as the case is often, then we're able to have profound impact in their ability to get out of that timeshare.